Panama, a tiny country most people could not point to on a map. But what if I told you this narrow strip of land defies everything you think you know about geography, engineering, and nature? These 30 facts will completely shatter your perception of reality. Fact 1. The sun rises in the Pacific. In Panama, the sun rises over the Pacific Ocean and sets over the Atlantic. The country curves so dramatically that its Pacific coast sits east of its Atlantic side, completely breaking the rules. Fact 2. 2 oceans, 0 waves between. You can swim in both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in the same day. The distance between them is just 50 miles at Panama's narrowest point, making it absurdly easy to ocean hop. Fact 3. Ships climb mountains. The Panama Canal does not go through sea level. Ships literally climb 85 feet up through locks, sail across a mountain lake, and then descend back down. Water becomes an elevator here. Fact 4. A lake that shouldn't exist. Gatun Lake is entirely man-made, and it was the largest artificial lake on Earth when it was created. Engineers flooded entire towns and jungles to build it, permanently drowning a massive chunk of the country. Fact 5. The bridge dividing continents. The Bridge of the Americas physically connects North and South America. Before 1962, there was no land route between the continents. This single bridge united 2 massive landmasses for the first time. Before continuing, be sure to subscribe to learn all about the Pacific. Fact 6. Rainforest in the capital. Panama City has actual rainforest within its city limits. Parque Natural Metropolitano is one of the only places on Earth where you can see wild sloths, toucans, and monkeys minutes from downtown skyscrapers. Fact 7. The currency confusion. Panama uses the United States dollar as its official currency, but it calls that dollar the Balboa. Panama mints its own coins, but does not issue paper money. It is the only country that uses another nation's paper money as its official currency. Fact 8. The country, built by disease. Yellow fever and malaria killed over 25,000 workers building the Panama Canal. More people died from mosquitoes than any other cause. Diseases literally shaped this nation's existence and economy. Fact 9. France's billion-dollar failure. France tried building the Panama Canal first and failed catastrophically. They spent over $287 million and lost 22,000 lives before abandoning the project completely in 1889. Fact 10. The Golden Frog Curse. Panama's golden frog has not been seen in the wild since 2009. This tiny, bright yellow amphibian is considered extinct in nature. An entire species vanished from its homeland in just a few years. Fact 11. 7 indigenous languages survive. 7 completely distinct indigenous languages are still spoken in Panama today. These are not dialects, but entirely separate languages. Most countries this size have 1 or 2 indigenous languages at most. Fact 12. The pipeline across nations. Panama has a pipeline that moves oil from one ocean to the other. When ships are too large for the canal, crude oil gets pumped 80 miles across the country instead of sailing around. Fact 13. Retirement Paradise Discounts. Panama offers massive discounts to retirees through its Pensionado program. Foreign retirees receive 25% off restaurants, 30% off buses, 50% off entertainment, and 20% off medical bills, legally. Fact 14. The Shark Commute. Bull sharks swim through the Panama Canal regularly. These ocean predators commute between the Atlantic and Pacific. making the canal one of the only places where sharks cross between oceans through fresh water. Fact 15. Carbon negative achievement. Panama is one of only 3 carbon negative countries on Earth. Its forests absorb more carbon dioxide than the entire country produces. Most developed nations produce 10 times more than they absorb. Fact 16. Archipelago of dreams. Panama controls over 1,400 islands. The San Blas Islands alone contain 365 islands, one for each day of the year. Most are uninhabited tropical paradises with white sand. Fact 17. The Harpy Eagle Kingdom. Panama is one of the last strongholds for harpy eagles. These massive raptors have talons larger than grizzly bear claws, and they can snatch monkeys from trees. They are the country's national bird, despite being terrifying. Fact 18. Transisthmian Railroad first. Panama built the first transcontinental railroad in the Americas. Completed in 1855, it connected 2 oceans before the United States connected its own coasts. This tiny country achieved what massive nations could not. Fact 19. Coiba's dark history. Coiba Island was Panama's Alcatraz. This prison island held the country's most dangerous criminals for decades. Now it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a pristine nature preserve hosting incredible marine life. Fact 20. The tree that bleeds. Panama has trees that literally bleed red sap when cut. The bloodwood tree oozes crimson liquid that looks identical to blood. Indigenous peoples used it for medicine and dye for thousands of years. If you learned something new today, feel free to subscribe. Fact 21st. The Darien Gap remains unconquered. The Darien Gap is the only break in the Pan-American Highway stretching from Alaska to Argentina. 60 miles of impenetrable jungle and swamp remain roadless. No highway crosses it even today. Fact 22. Ancient gold obsession. Pre-Columbian Panamanians were master goldsmiths. They created intricate gold figurines and jewelry that Spanish conquistadors melted down by the ton. Museums worldwide display surviving Panamanian gold artifacts as masterpieces. Fact 23. Whale Migration Highway. Humpback whales from both hemispheres migrate to Panamanian waters. Northern and southern populations arrive at different times, making Panama one of the few places with nearly year-round whale watching. Oceans meet here. Fact 24. The polera costs thousands. Panama's traditional dress, the polera, can cost over $10,000. Each dress requires hundreds of hours of hand embroidery and uses expensive materials. Some families spend years saving for one. Fact 25th. Independence from everyone. Panama gained independence from Spain, then from Colombia, then became a U.S. protectorate, and then finally gained true independence. 4 different flags flew over this country in just 100 years of national existence. Fact 26. Skyscraper density. Shock! Panama City has more skyscrapers than any Central American city. Over 200 high-rises crowd the skyline. This tiny capital rivals Miami in density, despite being in a developing region. Fact 27. The fastest sloth species. Panama harbors the pygmy 3-toed sloth, found nowhere else on Earth. Living only on one tiny island, these sloths are 40% smaller than mainland relatives, and they are critically endangered, with under 100 remaining. Fact 28. Canal water wars. The Panama Canal requires 52 million gallons of fresh water per ship passing through. During droughts, fewer ships can transit because there is not enough water. Climate change now threatens this engineering marvel. Fact 29. Jazz birthplace claim. Some historians argue that jazz was partly born in Panama. Thousands of Caribbean workers brought their music to Panama during canal construction. Those sounds influenced early jazz development before spreading to New Orleans. Fact 30. The country, younger than your grandparents. Panama only became fully independent in 1999. The United States controlled the canal zone until then. This means Panama's sovereignty is younger than most people's parents. Modern nations rarely emerge.